This is TV Black Box, bringing you the inside goss from the TV industry.
It's a mega episode of the TV Black Box podcast as we head towards the final episode. First cab off the rank tonight as we speak to all the finalists, but the man who didn't quite make it to the final three is none other than Brenton, and he joins me now on the TV Black Box. Hello, Brenton.
G'day, and thanks for reminding me that I just didn't make it. I appreciate it. It's so fresh.
You are totally on brand here. You've got the tank top going on. The muscles are out. You certainly live up to the hype. I don't know what that means, by the way.
Whatever the hype is, that's the funniest thing with the fans. Like they put you in a box, and I'm definitely that guy without the shirt. So apologies if I do have a shirt on today, but I'm trying to keep it as skin deep as I can.
Mate, let's talk about what we've just seen, and it's a scenario where you got beaten by the smallest of margins by Taras. Do you believe that tell me, if you had won, would he have been the one going?
100%. I think you've said it right there. As much as I was good friends with Taras, I wasn't taking him to the top three. So it was, I guess, life or death for him in that last challenge, and he beat me to it.
What makes the decision on who you would take to the top three? Because I would argue Reggie's unbeatable.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, because in the house, all we could think about is that we're constantly getting told by Big Brother, by Tim Dormer, by all these people that Australia wants to see Reggie at the end. Australia loves Reggie. If you love Reggie, Australia's going to love you. So in our minds, we were always thinking, let's take Reggie to the end, and that's a heroic move. Now we're all kicking ourselves like, why would we take her to the end? She's going to win. Like, I don't know what we were thinking.
Well, personally, I tell everyone ahead of notice, I am a friend of Reggie's. I love Reggie. I've worked with her. I've become friends with her. And I do want her to win. So I'm grateful that you guys did. Although you did take the opportunity. You guys did take the opportunity to vote her out.
Yep. I was the only one that saved her, actually, in that double eviction. Idiot.
Yeah, not an idiot. Talk to me. And I guess a lot of people are talking about your strategy of when you came in. You came up with the idea of not letting people know that you had a game plan or knew anything about Big Brother. I was speaking to Tim Dormer after his eviction, and he said he knew that he reckons he was on to you. Do you think that's true?
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, he's a very smart man, and he would have done the logistics. Like, there's no way a producer would have let this guy on the show if he hadn't seen it. Like, he probably would have thought about it. Because I can assure you, my acting was, I'm an actor by trade, so I thought I would have pulled it off, but maybe he did see through that.
Well, hindsight's an easy thing too.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, a lot of people don't know, I didn't actually come in with that tactic. I actually came in thinking I'm going to be the challenge beast. I'm going to win all the challenges, maybe bully people around, so on and so forth. But because as soon as I walked in, they were like, oh, you're the new Joel, you're the new challenge beast. I was like, no, I'm not threatening, Dorian. What's the challenge? What's Big Brother? I don't know what Big Brother is. And I fully took 10 steps back. And I thought, how can I come across non-threatening? And that's why I just acted dumb.
I actually thought it was a good idea, to be honest. I love seeing a game plan like that, and I actually appreciated the thought. I thought you'd planned it ahead. Good on you for thinking on the run. It's interesting coming in as an intruder, and Jasmine, my daughter, has been following Big Brother, and I think she actually has a question about this, Jasmine.
Because you came into the house so late, there were already sort of a divide between the two alliances. You ended up picking to stick on the newbie side. What was the reasoning behind?
You know what? There wasn't much tactic in that for me. I purely just got along really well with Johnson and Alicia. And I didn't actually like the OGs to start off with. They didn't show it, but Farmer Dave started picking on me about like certain things, and Tim was like being very standoffish. And I thought, I don't like.
They were intimidated and worried about you, were they?
Yeah, I think that was it. They don't like the man in the tux. And I thought, I don't want to sleep with you guys. So I jumped on the other side of the bedroom.
So it's interesting. It literally came down to that, how they treated you to begin with, because they needed numbers. It's surprising that they didn't jump on you and try to get you on side.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with, like, you know, being an intruder. You're already on the back foot, and people already have their best friends and alliances. So you have to make fast judgment calls. And to be honest, I judged Tim really hard, and I thought I can't trust him, and I just didn't like him. But that wasn't fair for me to say that, because I told him that, and it wasn't fair for me to say that. And when we got stuck in the waiting room together, I actually apologized.
The waiting room.
Oh. But I said, sorry, like, I really like you. It was just a fast judgment call. But you have to be fast on your feet when you're an intruder. You've got to make some quick decisions.
Of course. Talk to me about the waiting room. I mean, was he as nonstop as he seemed with the yappity yap?
Yep. 24/7. You've never seen anything like it. Like, I thought he might be putting it on for a little bit, but it just went on and on. And credit to him, like, man, he can talk, and he can come up with some interesting thoughts. But it was actually 56 hours in that waiting room. TV says it was 48, but it was 56, and I think they say 48 because that's the legal time you can keep someone in the cell.
Oh, so they're just not admitting they were torturing you.
Oh my gosh, it was the worst. Like, you take the smallest things for granted, whether it's food or training, oxygen, like fresh air. I was pleading. I was up at like probably 2-3 in the morning. Big brother, like, I just need fresh air. I get a jar. Give me anything. I want some fresh air. And he's like, nah. And by the end of it, I said to Tim, and I was so done. He knew it. I said, I'm going to run through that gyp rock. He goes, what do you mean? I go, watch this. I'm going to run through that wall right now. And that's when Big Brother called it quits. He's like, all right, your time in the waiting room is over. He knew I was going to do something bad. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
I would have loved to have seen that, doing your road runner trick, right? Wile E. Coyote, actually, right through the gyp rock with your little silhouette left in there. Mate, I ask everyone this, but it's such a process shooting Big Brother. Filming finished 6 months ago. You've now had the opportunity to watch it back and see what people are saying about you. What's been the most surprising thing?
In terms of, like, the fans, what people are saying?
No. I mean, that happened in the house that you didn't know about.
Oh, housemates. Yeah, good question. There's
because we don't often get to see people bitching behind our back, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what happens at Big Brother. They go into the diary room and have a bitch, or they're strategizing against you. Was there anything surprising that you saw going on when you watched it back on TV?
Yeah, there was people like Tully trying to get rid of me that I didn't realise at the time. I also didn't realise how manipulative Tim was, like how great at talking to people. He's brilliant. He just has the same conversation with everyone but twists it slightly. Like, he's brilliant at what he does.
Yep. You, as an intruder, have done really, really well. Intruders just don't do as well as you have done. What was the point of difference that literally and outside of the couple of seconds or second or whatever it was between you getting the ball in and Taras getting the ball in, what got you to this point where you were fourth left in the house?
I mean, I thank God for it. Like, I was praying every day, God, just let your will be done. Like, help me here, because I didn't know how to play, and he kept me towards the end. But apart from that, like, I was building alliance, as much as everyone was as well. But you don't see a lot of my story on camera. You don't see the song and dance I performed of the Timviction when he got evicted. You don't see me sleeping to a pole, outside and taking.
I wish we did. These are the moments we actually miss as fans. We miss these moments.
Yeah. Like, it was hilarious, like, sleeping on that pole at night. I had a rat in my sleep. So I was pulling pranks on everyone in the house. And I was putting food in people's blankets just to irritate them at night. Like, it sounds weird to say, something we did. And Reggie would get me all the time. Like, it was ridiculous. Anyway, I put food in one of the girls' sleeping bags. And what I didn't realise is it wasn't her sleeping. It wasn't her thing. It was actually someone who got evicted. I just misread the beds. And when we were sleeping on the pole, I said to the girls, can you please get us a blanket? And they got me the blanket that I put food in. I didn't realise. So during the night, a rat came into my blanket, and it just was like karma just got me back, and I had a run. And I was screaming, "What the heck is that?" And it was just this hilarious moment. But you don't see that stuff. I thought that'd be great TV.
That would be great TV, although I guess they don't want to admit there's rats in the house outside of the housemates. Were you surprised when you saw Taras and the way he played the game when you've watched it back?
Yeah, I didn't realise. I knew he was a liar. I didn't realise how much he lied until watching it now on camera. Taras is funny. He's actually one of the kindest. I mean, I'm guessing you've spoke to him.
No, we're speaking to him next.
Cool.
So because he's obviously made the final three, and you're the first cab off the rank for our podcast tonight. So I will be speaking to him.
Cool. Well, what you'll see in the interview, he's actually the loveliest, softest person. However, I think the edit just grabs, and he says outrageous, dark things and twisted things, and I'm a liar, I'm this. But we laugh because it's so not him. He's a beautiful, nice, but I think the edit grabs those.
Well, he did play a vicious game, though, Brenton.
Yeah, well, it's certainly, he's definitely the whole playing under the radar the whole game and now winning all these challenges. Like, he is ruthless. We definitely didn't see that coming. But yeah.
Who would you like to see? We've got Taras Johnson.
So you cut out for a second. What was that?
We've got 3 remaining housemates up for the finale. Reggie, Johnson and Taras. Who do you want to see win Big Brother 2022?
I hate to go against what you believe, but I would love to see Johnson take this out. I think as much as myself and Australia loves Reggie, I think Johnson just played such a fierce game with his back up against the wall the whole season. He never gave up. And the fact that he's here today is just a testament to how he played, because he just didn't give up. He didn't stop fighting. And,
mate, it could happen. We can't take it for granted that Reggie will win. It actually could happen. Mate, seriously, congratulations. An intruder to do what you did and play the way you played. You did a great job. And I was going to let you go, but I have to ask this question. Did you think that you had actually won the challenge? Because here's the thing. You're focused on getting your balls. Taras is doing his thing. I imagine for a moment you're not paying attention to what he's doing. You're just focusing on your own game. You got the balls in. Had you not realised he had already won, did you think you had won that challenge?
I 1,000,000% thought I won. I knew I won. As soon as I took that ball, I couldn't believe that I won. I knew. I saw the prize money. I saw everything. And when I looked over my shoulder and saw that Taras had his arms higher in the air earlier than me, my heart sunk. I thought there is no way to beat me.
It was so close. And what a difference of that fortune. You know, like, he wins, he votes you out. You say you would have voted him out by sheer milliseconds or seconds, whatever it was, mate. It's such a shame for your game, but you did great, and I genuinely mean that. Thank you so much for joining us here on TV Black Box.
Thank you so much for having me. Good to meet you guys.
He's on the line with TV Black Box. Hello, Reggie.
Hello, Rob. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad we could finally make this happen, because it's been a bit of, for those, I was meant to record with Reggie last night, and she sends me a text saying, ready whenever you are. And I'm like, what? I thought we weren't recording until Monday. So sorry, Reggie.
That's all right. You're lucky it's me.
I tell you what, I was, and you were just like, Rob. And I'm usually better than that. Anyway.
We're here now.
We are here now, and then you've been hanging up on me multiple times because you're getting used to your AirPods.
I've never used AirPods before.
It's hilarious. Hey, how are you feeling?
Oh, gosh, I am excited and nervous and tired and everything, All rolled into one,
Look, you know I love you. People who listen to this podcast know that I love you, and I obviously want you to win. I'm hoping you'll win. But I was texting you the other last week when you got evicted. You just looked shattered. You just
Oh.
looked absolutely like it's all over. I've lost this chance.
Yeah. Oh man, that really hit me when that happened. I was like, wow. When they said my name, I was gutted, absolutely gutted. And even, going into the arcade room and seeing Estelle in there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And then going into the second chance challenge as well, I was absolutely drained. I had nothing left in the tank, Rob, and yeah, it was really super hard. It was so hard, and then when Taras came in, and I'm like, oh man, we've got to compete against Taras to try and get back in, and him being the challenge beast, I thought there's no hope, going up against Taras and Estelle. And that challenge also was horrible. I couldn't see. And that day, Big Brother, for some reason, they wouldn't let me wear my sunglasses as well. So, and the glare of the sun was literally blinding me. And, yeah, so I was just drained, yeah. It was super hard.
I know you were. And what's been interesting, you mentioned that, is there has been some commentary, Reggie, about the challenges being ableist. Now, have you been across any of these commentaries saying that your needs haven't been taken into account and that you've been disadvantaged because producers have made these ableist? What do you make of that whole commentary?
Oh, man, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that at the moment. Look, I went into the show not expecting anything to be changed just for me.
Yep.
I wanted to go in and have a go, and I did. And I'm proud of myself for doing all those challenges with the limited eyesight that I have left. I did quite well, actually, compared to a lot of them. But no, look, what a fun thing I would have liked to have Big Brother to have done. Maybe in one of the food challenges, shopping task would be to get everyone to put a pair of sunglasses on and drill a couple of pinholes in the middle just to give them some perspective of what I see.
What a great idea.
That would have been a fun thing to do, and just to get to the housemates to go, oh, wow, like, geez, this is all Reggie sees. That would have been a fun thing to do. Yeah, but
that would have been fascinating. Now, just before the show launched, we had lunch on the Gold Coast, and you were starting to be in the promos for Big Brother, and you were starting to really get recognised again. I don't think you've ever not been recognised, but you were telling me it was really starting to ramp up again. And in fact, we had some guy come over and think he was your best friend wanting to talk to you for 10 minutes, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Now, how have you found it since the show's been going to air? Can you walk down the street anymore? Are more people recognising you again?
Yeah, it's all started again, Rob. Everyone's lovely though. It's good to see a new lot of fans come through, because there's a lot of kids who come up to me and just want a photo and a cuddle, and there's Reggie, and it's so cute. Like, that's happening all over again, a new generation of fans.
And you love it. You love being part of Big Brother, and I come back to it that's why I felt the devastation when you were evicted, and it was that impromptu double eviction, and you look shattered because you do need the money. Let's be honest, you need that $250,000, don't you?
Yeah, look, I do. I do. It's going to help. Hopefully, like, if it happens, it's going to put a roof over mine and the kids' heads. So that's what I, hope will happen.
Well, you're about to lose the place you're living in. You rent at the moment. You're about to lose that because the landlord is doing something with it. But this is more than just a game for you. This, we've all read the stories about how you got ripped off, and I've said to you that if you win this $250,000, Reggie, you do not lend anyone $20.
I know. I know. Definitely a lesson to be learned with that. Yes.
Yes, but I think we need to be honest and explain why this is so important for people to vote for you. Because, as I say, it's not just about winning Big Brother, which would be amazing because you'd be the first person, I believe, to win it twice, which would just be history-making. But you genuinely, for your kids, need the money.
Yeah, for the kids, and also, like at the moment with Lucas, he hasn't been well. He's been really sick with his flu, on top of his cystic fibrosis. So he's been really sick. And and I've been buying these supplements to try and fatten him up, and they're like $45, and you only get it's a drink, it's a shake drink thing. There's only 5 in a packet, and $45 a pop, but it's working. That's the thing. These shakes are working, and I need to keep buying them. And I'm like, it all adds up.
Now, when we talk about that, and look, people could accuse me of playing the heartstrings, and as I said, I'm very supportive of you. I want you to win. I make no bones about it. I've told every person I've interviewed that I want you to win. But do you think that's a fair reason for people to vote for you, or should they be voting on gameplay? Taras has certainly. I mean, I don't find the way Taras has played to be likeable, but he certainly has played the game.
Yeah, and it's funny how they say, have you played the game? I played the game my way. Everyone, I played it my way, and I may not have been the most strategic person and the one that had to lie to get through, but I did play it my way. And, walking into the house, I had a massive target on my back, being a previous winner. And
I wouldn't have taken you to final 3. I'll tell you that right now. I would have, on a personal level, I would have. But if I was in there for the game. And we weren't friends, right? Because friendship, I would have. But if I was a competitor, one of these newbies that didn't have a personal connection with you, I'd be thinking you'd have to be mad to take Reggie through.
Yeah, but also in there, I sat back and I watched them blow each other up, Rob, right at the they're blowing each other up, and I could read the room so well. My gut instinct played such a great part in my gameplay. I could see who was full of crap, Rob, and and I'm like, okay, this person's got to go. You don't see a lot
there were a couple of times you had Johnson as a target, you had a few others as a target. You went, no, they've got to go. And we saw you work hard. Tim Dormer, who I spoke to the other day, he said to me that I said, for all the talk of you playing a good game, Tim, if you just stuck to the original plan and voted with the OGs, you would have been fine. And he said, no, I'd never trusted the OGs to take me all the way. They didn't have my back. Do you think that's fair commentary from him?
I would have had Tim's back. So,
I think he knows you would have. And sorry, I should have said that. I do, from memory, think he didn't include you as part of that, but he didn't trust the other OGs. He felt he wasn't part of their top 3 strategy.
Yeah, I wanted to walked in with Tim. I wanted to be at the end there with Tim as well. Yeah. So I was hoping, and I said that to him. Geez, we'll come and towards the end there, and I said to him, what do you want, Tim? Because I was doing pretty much my thing, and he was doing his thing, and I guess it was a shock to see him find out that he made that secret deal with Johnson, and he made the deal with Brenton, and I'm like,
was there anyone who didn't make a secret deal with Reggie?
And I'm like, this is crazy, but it worked for him. And
to a point.
To a point, yeah. So I don't think he could have stuck with the OGs all the way. I don't think it would have worked for him. Yeah, so... But
well, then fair enough to him.
Yeah. I would have had his back because I could see what he was doing, and I didn't agree with some of the OGs what they wanted to do as well. But
Yeah, that's fair enough.
yeah.
You made a huge play to get rid of Alicia, and that was an amazing piece of television because, I mean, we've seen Blindsides, but Taras thought he had you in his pocket, and the funny moment for me is when Alicia went and he's just shocked because he had lost control of the game. And he turned to you and said, "Why did you do that?" And you said, "I've never lied, but I did what I had to do for me here, and I did lie." And he said, "Well, I've just never done that." And we've just watched the whole game where he's lied to everybody. That was a classic piece of TV. But he was upset. Was it a surprise for you that he didn't seek revenge for that move and he took you through to the top three?
Yeah, look, because that night in that eviction room, and then he turned on me.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, he was absolutely livid, and I'm thinking, Teresa, you've lied the whole way through this game. Like, my goodness, I pulled out the big guns right at the end there, and he didn't like it. But I was surprised though that he did take me to the end, because of what I did, getting rid of Alicia. So when I was in the chairs with Johnson and Brenton, I even said to Sonia, like, I'm gone. I know I'm gone. I'm going home. This is my final time in the house. And I was so shocked when he kept me and got rid of Brenton. I'm like, what the hell? Like,
I think Brenton was surprised too when I spoke to him just before you.
Because they become really close. They were working together for weeks building up to this. So, I was really, really shocked when Teres kept me.
Well, I'll be talking to Taras soon, and I think one of the interesting things for me is who did choose to go to the final three, you and Johnson, and especially considering he'd been targeting Johnson and he was upset at you.
Yeah, he was mad at me, like, because the plan was to get rid of Johnson, and he's going, you've got to get rid of Johnson, and I swore. Also, another thing, Rob, I don't know, when we were doing the scramble, Alicia was going to me, she's going, I want to win Big Brother. I'm going to win Big Brother. I'm going to take this, and if I win this, I might give you some money. And I'm looking at her in the yard, going, are you for real? Like, I'm thinking in my head, okay, you got to go, girl. You're going.
So you played your game, which is fair enough. What was interesting, just for clarity for people listening, we're recording this before the final episode goes to air. And so, Reggie, I know you haven't seen the episode. And because I need to explain that for what I'm about to say, because we do see, people will have seen tonight, you and Taras reconcile, because I think the way he got upset with you really affected you. You're in tears, and it led to you and him having a big conversation. And he seemed to let go of all his anger about that move. It seemed to change him, that conversation you two had in the bedroom where you explain you're doing it for your kids. You've got to do what you've got to do. And he actually seemed to understand that. I'm a bit confused with Taras. On some levels, I want to hate his gameplay, but then on some levels, he's so human and actually doesn't make the smart gameplay move. I'm very confused. I'm really looking forward to talking to him, actually.
Yeah. He could see why I did what I did. And it was for the kids. I'm like, I've come to the point where I'm going to fight to stay in this house, and I'm going to do everything possible.
It was great to see you get the fire back in your belly, especially after you'd been evicted. And, Reg, I've never seen you look so despondent. You know, I'm sorry to come back to that moment again, but it really hit me. And I was in contact with you about that because you just, when you first got evicted, you were like, it's over. I can't believe it's over. And then even in the arcade room, you were still coming to terms with the fact that they voted against you. It obviously hurt on so many levels.
Yeah, it did, because I had Johnson also saying, there's no way, Reg, I'm going to get rid of you. He goes, I'm not going to vote for you. I'm not going to get rid of you. And then when I came back in and found out it was Johnson and Alicia, I was just like, wow, really? Like, Yeah, it really hurt. Yeah, it
Yeah, I
did.
could tell.
Yeah, but just thinking back to it, and I was just, and even going into that final challenge, my heart just sank. It sank like when we walked into the yard, and I just started crying. I don't know if what they've shown, but
No, we didn't see you crying going into the
oh
yard.
my goodness! And I'm like, pull it together. You've got to pull yourself together. This is it. You've got to give it your all, like you have done in each challenge. And oh my goodness, that was the worst challenge, by the way. It was brutal.
It was a tough one. You didn't really stand a chance, to be honest. You didn't stand a chance.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. So I was hoping at that stage that Brenton was going to win that challenge, and he lost it by a millisecond. It was that close. That ball dropping. It was like Terrace's ball dropped and Brenton's ball just like a second after it, and I've just gone, no, like.
And you would have been in Brenton's final three. He told me, we've just heard this on this podcast, but he told me he was going to vote Terrace out.
Yes, yeah. So I was definitely going to, I knew I was going to be there with Brenton.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know my daughter Jasmine, she's here with me, as you can see.
Yeah.
She's been asking a viewer's kids question.
Yes.
She's been watching the series with me, and of course she knows you and she loves you. But Jasmine, what did you want to ask?
Well, in the game you stuck with the OGs a lot. That was your main alliance. Do you regret not sort of having an alliance with some of the newbies, or are you happy with the way things went?
No, I was happy. I was hoping the OGs were going to be together, like all the way. I was hoping the OGs were going to be together. And, oh, gosh.
The OGs imploded, didn't they?
Yes. We blew ourselves up. But but the thing is, I made friends with all of them in there. And that also, my social game was so good. Everyone pretty much loved me, and that's why I've made it.
Only you can get away with saying that, Reggie. Yeah, they love me. Bloody too right, they did. I haven't done a Reggie impersonation this podcast. Bloody hell, Rob, they love me. It's the same as my Carlotta impersonation. Does that worry you?
So I had an extremely good social game as well. So I didn't need to have the physical game. Mine was a very good social game. So I did, me and Johnson become close in the house. And Terrace. So it worked in my favour.
Yeah. Look, you certainly went through a roller coaster ride in the house, that's for sure. And it's a very different game. I'm going to guess you prefer the old version.
Oh, yes. I like how they've got old with the new, but honestly, I like the social part of Big Brother. Like, you didn't get to even know the newbies, really. Like,
I think that's a real disadvantage for them. And you were telling me that you actually, what we didn't see on screen was that you sprained your ankle because you were trying to hide apples.
I was injured the whole way through, from week one to the day I walked out that door. Tell
me what happened with the apples, Reg.
So I was hiding because we had no food. We're starving in there, I tell you. We had no food, so I was trying to hide a bag of apples on top of the wardrobe, and I could hear someone coming, and I threw the apples up on top, and I jumped down, and then my ankle, I just had this crack. It just went crack, and I'm like, oh, my God, what have I done? I was in so much pain, and ended up my ankle was strapped, I think, for about a week. And then
you missed a challenge or two, didn't you, on medical grounds?
Yes, yeah, because then I fell when we were holding our body weight up. I fell back and I didn't even realise I'd fallen. I think I might have knocked myself out for a second. And I'm looking up And Trevor's looking over me going, Reggie, you okay? You okay? And I'm looking up going, I forgot to let go. And I had whiplash. So,
Oh, my God.
yeah, so I had whiplash and all my back was jarred. So I couldn't do the next challenge, which was where you had to have your head inside the water, back inside that box in the water and the running. And then I tore my left quad in a running food challenge, shopping challenge, tore that. Then in the next challenge, when we were hanging up on the slide, like I was coming forth and that Big Brother was spraying water on us and I was that high, so high up, I was so scared to let go, and I'm like, and I couldn't hold on any longer, and I was in so much pain because I was trying to push my leg against the side of the slide to try and get a grip, but because my quad was torn, I was in so much agony. So when I let go,
you can't see what you're doing clearly.
No,
it's hard to get that sense of how high you actually are.
Yeah, how, and anyway, Risky, the guy who does all the challenge, like he's a what is he?
The challenge producer.
Yeah, the producer. He's going, Reggie, I've got you, and everyone was going, Reggie, you're okay, just let go, we've got you. And I thought, so I let go, and when I slid down, my legs went underneath me and ripped both my quads. So my left one was already ripped.
My God.
I ripped the right one, so I had two torn quads, and I couldn't walk. Like Dave ended up carrying me off. So yeah, so I was injured doing every challenge in that all the way through. So I had to get physio. Physio had to come in, and into the diary room and just work on me to try and get me better.
Oh, you'll do anything for a bit of touchy-feely on the legs, won't you?
Yes, that's true.
You love Big Brother so much. I sometimes get the feeling you would happily live in the house for the rest of your life.
I love it, Rob? I love Big Brother so much, and it's funny because they're showing so much of Johnson being this super fan. I've been a super fan from the day dot of Big Brother, you know, like I've been campaigning for years wanting an All-Stars, like all the time.
We talked on the internet show and when we were doing Eye on Big Brother and all that kind of stuff about getting you back on. I'm glad it finally happened, but it wasn't a given, was it? They were hesitant to put you back in the house, weren't they?
Well, I got asked to do the VIP Big Brother.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yeah, so... so I'm glad that didn't happen.
But they didn't put you in, even though they talked to you about it. They didn't put you in, did they?
No, it came close down to it. So I think that's when they used Danny instead of me.
Right.
But I forgot what we were saying.
So basically, then they were obviously from that they did talk to you about this season. But it wasn't a sure thing that they were going to put you in. Because
I think they were concerned about my eyesight.
Yeah.
And, so that had a big play in it. And leaving the kids as well. So, but with my eyes, I said, look, I can do this. I'm going to do it. So there's no stopping me. So
it's funny, when I first floated it, my assumption was they'd put you and Anita in as a team, your sister, and she could do the challenges. So I was genuinely surprised and thrilled for you that you did this on your own. And I think it's a real credit to you, Reggie, that you did it on your own.
Yeah, I did this on my own, Rob, and I'm just so proud of myself as well. Like I'm really, really proud of what I've done. And
as you should be.
Yeah. Look, and I'm also proud to represent people who, you know, who are vision impaired. It's good. Like, and I always
on that, Reggie, talk to me, because there's a lot of people that don't understand your condition, because they'll say, well, she's not blind, she can see.
Yeah.
And what they don't understand is blindness. And this is something, and I've got to be honest, I had the same thing with Rachel Learcar when I remember seeing her in the studio reading a phone, and I went, she's not blind, because blind is a general term that people who don't know people with these conditions think is all or nothing.
Yes.
We think you can either see or you can't see. What we haven't understood is that, I guess the term partial blindness, but it is covered by the term blindness, is because you cannot see the same as I can see.
Oh, no, not at all. So, like with Rachel, because Rachel's got the same eye disease as me, retinitis pigmentosa. And, so I can see just like my pinhole vision, 9 degrees of pinhole vision, and I don't have peripheral vision or night vision, but at the moment I'm reading a lot, like, oh, she's fake, she's not blind at all, she can see, oh, she can walk. And I'm like, what the heck?
No one said you couldn't walk.
I know. She can walk. I saw her walking out of the diary room and no one was holding her hand, and I'm just like, oh, man, I need to educate
But that comes down to lighting and also knowing your way. I know that when we've gone out, someone has to take you, walk you to the loos and all that kind of stuff, because there's tables and people everywhere. So when you're in your own environment, it's easier than when you're out.
Yes, in a different setting. So, because once I knew my way around the house, I was okay. So I remembered, like, there was a step. I remember that the step to the bathroom, I missed it a few times. I'm like, whoa, I'm nearly wet. Yeah, and even like with the steps outside leading up to the pool deck, I always took my time, or one of the housemates would come and hold my hand to make sure that I didn't fall down. But, it's just funny. I've got to, like I said, try and educate people about blindness and low vision, because it's not all or nothing. Yeah. And and it's funny also, like, I was so inspired watching the Paralympics before going into Big Brother, and I'm like, wow, these guys are amazing. They can do anything, and I can do this as well. And I don't, and I think to myself, do people troll Paralympians? Like, do they get trolled for
That's interesting.
Having a go? Like, I just don't understand the mentality of some people.
Social media, it's full of, idiots. You and Estelle have really become good friends, and I got the last time I saw you was on the red carpet with Estelle, and God, you talked me up. She became my super fan. She was a super fan to me because you talked me up so much. Has that friendship grown because of this experience? Had you always been so close with her?
No, I never even met Estelle. So
that's what I thought. I did wonder that.
Yep. So we met in the house, and we just became such good, close mates. Like, she's got a big heart. She's a beautiful soul, and
I agree.